Hello and welcome back to K&C Taxidermy. As you can see, I've got my Coyote cape out and we are getting ready to start putting it on the form. I've bonded the ears and I am getting ready to put some critter clay into the paws so that I can run the form through the feet and into my form holder, my life-size form holder, and I'm just going to go ahead and put the clay into the feet before I do that, and I will let you watch and see how I do that. I like to take little individual pieces and stuff them down into each individual toe, and this is one of the back feet. And as you can see, the little openings here for the toes, and I just take a little ball of clay and I just kind of pack it down into each of those individual toes to make sure I get good first. Get those good and full first before, and then I have good, my toes are good and full, and then I'll get a little bit more and I'll kind of make a kind of an oval like that, and I'll come back kind of fill in like that. Of course, once you get, and that's just to make sure the toes are good, and before I can, and that's just before I, put the form on. I just want to make sure I have clay good and in the toes. I can always, before I sew it up, go in and backfill that paw and like this pad back here more before I close it up to sew it around the base here, because the base of the form, the foot of the form, I can always, before I go to sew that up, if I need to put more clay in the back or in the pad, I can. But right now I just want to make sure I get good, filling good the toes before I do that, because I don't want to be trying to stuff that in there when I have all this in the way. Right, now we're moving on to the front paws. I just kind of take my thumb and make sure those toes openings are open up real good. And then I'm just going to take my little balls of clay and I'm going to shove them down in there, pack them in there, just like that. Like I said, right now we're just making sure our toes are good and full of clay. They're good and solid and full. And then once we run that form through and we go to close them up in the end, if we need to backfill, you know, this pad and stuff like that, we can shove a little bit in the back before we sew it up. One more paw up here up front, and we are done. All right, here we go. And I'm just going to get that tidied up right there. Make sure that, give it a little squeeze from behind, make sure all that clay is pushed up in there. And there we go. All four are done. As you can see, there are big things going on here at K&C Taxidermy, so make sure you subscribe so you can get notifications on everything that's going on here at K&C Taxidermy. We'll see you then.